Right, hi guys, welcome to this video demo for dirtbox.net. Today we're going to be talking about the Xotic Effects BB Preamp MB, which stands for mid boost. This is the first effect from the Xotic's custom shop. I think it's a custom shop model. It's essentially exactly the same as the standard red BB preamps, but with this tiny little mid boost switch in the middle, which apparently quite a few people were asking for. I've found it useful. We'll go through that later. So yeah, great sturdy die-cast aluminium box, pretty cool looks, quality components throughout as far as I can tell. So let's open it up and have a look at the interior construction. Okay, so this is inside the BB Preamp MB. As you can see, it's quite a tight layout. I'm impressed they've managed to squeeze it all into such a small box. I bet that took some planning, to be honest. You've got the standard kind of battery snap. I mean, I don't like the power pedals off batteries. I just don't like them. I prefer using mains electricity. But, you know, every pedal manufacturer puts it in there because some people prefer batteries. And as well, in an emergency or whatever, you know what I mean, if you need to use a battery, no worries, that's there. One thing I noticed immediately, which I was very pleased at, is that the 3PDT foot switch here is wired up by hand, the old-fashioned way, and it's all done with these individual wires, which is great, because so many times I open up a lot of pedals that, you know, can cost more than this, and you see the foot switch can be attached to a separate PCB, or even the main PCB, which I don't like, because if you keep stomping, you stomp too hard, you could crack the PCB. And that was one of the original reasons that people started to make their own effects, or that, you know, the boutique, if you pardon the expression, the boutique effects pedal market started for reasons like that. Yeah, so the 3PDT is all wired up and really well, really cleanly and well wired up as far as I can see. It looks great. Closed jacks, again high quality. They look like switchcraft parts, but I can't tell without taking them apart. And obviously the PCB well laid out, cleanly. I've had a look on the other side, cleanly soldered. There is another PCB about half the size as well underneath this one, which I assume is for the mid boost control, extra mid boost circuitry. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but if you notice a kind of black glue on some of the components. This is for two reasons, I guess. One reason is that with it being such a compact layout and stuff, when you put the lid on, there could be a chance of some of the components kind of shorting out against the lid. So this obviously, it's an insulated material, so it stops this. And also it hides kind of component values. Whether or not this is why Xotic did it, I know a lot of people do it in their own circuits to kind of make it that bit harder for DIY copycats to copy the circuit. But, you know, say what you will, I think it's actually fair enough. If you design a circuit as great as the BB Preamp, you don't really want people copying it and selling it off for dead cheap, and, you know, all your profits are going to go down the drain. Yeah, and they've done the same here on these IC chips. These integrated circuits have scratched off kind of the model, the part number, the model number, what type of chip it is. Again, just to probably make it harder just for DIY copycats to copy it. But of course, there's always a way around it, and there are copies out there. Yeah, so that's the inside. Let's turn it on and see what it sounds like. Alright, so there's the BB Preamp MB. Yeah, let's see what it sounds like. So I'm on a clean channel. First off, great quality foot switches I've shown you. Reasonably bright LED. It seems to be brighter kind of when you're standing on top of it, like the old Tube Screamer ones, or brighter looking straight down rather than in at the side. Not the brightest LED, but I can live with that, you know, that's fine. Yep, so apparently with the mid boost set at about 9 o'clock, it's just like the original BB Preamp. So let's try that. So everything else set at 12. Yeah, quite nice, but from what I remember of the BB preamp, that sounds a little bit harsher, a little bit sharper. So let's mess with the EQ, but we'll knock the treble down, knock the bass up, take the volume down a tad, and leave the gain where it is. Yeah, that's sounding more like what I remember. A lot fatter and a lot warmer. Let's take the gain right up on the clean channel here and see what we'll get. Yep, quite nice. I like that. It's not ridiculously high gain. It's probably a mid-gain kind of overdrive distortion, but it's really smooth and really warm, and it gets really compressed when the gain's that high up. Now I'm going to go for the, we'll try the mid boost. So I think if we knock the mid boost up just over halfway, we should get, that's the only thing with this pedal, for me personally. The mid boost, I would rather have them used a bigger enclosure. The mid boost, it's just really difficult for me to get. I mean, I've got quite large hands and quite fat fingers, but it's quite difficult for me to get my fingers in there and turn it without turning everything else in the process. It's, I think that's the only flaw in the design. So let's try this, and I think we're going to get something quite British sounding. Yeah, that's more like it. I really like that. Really smooth, compressed, just great. Let's tweak a little more to put the bass all the way up. I tell you what, we'll take the mids, if I can get my hand in, to the maximum boost, so you can get an idea of what that sounds like. Yeah, it's quite sharp. It's almost getting into the kind of the Brian May type treble boost type territory. Not quite there, but yeah, I like to have it just under halfway. Okay, let's hear what that sounds like. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I found a great kind of Andy Timmons electric gypsy type setting, something like that.